Good morning, people. It is me, John Dow, one half of the Architects of Aesthetics, Building a Better You. I am the Boston architect, here with a new podcast talking about fitness, more specifically nutrition. I'm going to call this the Managing Your Macros podcast. The goal is to talk about macros. So this is going to be good for people who have no idea what macros are, people who are new to tracking their nutrition, people who get overwhelmed with all this calorie talk, and also for the people who've been in it for a little while and just need the extra accountability. The goal is to keep these things quick and simple. I want to get back to doing a weekly type podcast, but also short. Don't take up too much of your time. Aim for about 10 minutes. Judging from the audience feedback, we'll see if we expand that, we cut back, make it more frequently. I don't know, you let me know. So first of all, what are macros? I remember a point in time when I thought macros just meant macaroni and cheese, something fancy, probably like a $15 bowl of macaroni and cheese, but that's not the case. Most people are familiar with the idea of sticking to a set amount of calories, and that is probably the number one priority. If you have no idea how many calories you're eating in a day, it's a good step to start tracking. But it is a pain in the butt. Definitely one of my least favorite things to do, but highly educational. If you can track every single piece of food that you're putting in your body for the course of 2 weeks, you're going to learn a lot. It is overwhelming though, hence this podcast, here to help. The next step about calories though, you need to realize that every calorie is not equal. Scratch that. The overall calories, the makeup of those calories are going to have a different effect on your body. The simplest explanation I can give is you eat 2,000 calories of pizza versus 2,000 calories of grilled meats and veggies. Very, very different after pictures if you can keep that up consistently. Consistency is key. Again, shout out to Chase. The key is to be consistent. So when you understand the basic makeup of those calories, the macronutrients, I'm talking about the fat, the carbs, and the protein, you're going to be a lot better off. Now you're probably curious about sugar and salt and all that stuff. Those are the micronutrients. That'll come into play later, but let's focus on the macros. So the macros I want to talk about today, a tasty nom nom that I've had recently, is Girl Scouts Caramel Crunch cereal. Did you guys know that the Girl Scouts, to get into the cereal game? I don't know how limited, well yeah, the box says limited edition. This is genius. The Girl Scouts took probably their second most popular cookie next to Thin Mints, the Samoas, turned it into cereal form, and here are the macronutrient facts. You have 2.5 grams of fat, 22 grams of carbs, and 1 gram of protein per serving. A serving size is 3/4 cup. Be sure to account for whatever milk that you're probably going to pour in, and let's be realistic, you're not going to stick to that 3/4 cup serving size, so you add and adjust. You're probably going to get around 35 grams of carbs per bowl. Now, some of you, you're listening, you're saying, I have no idea what those numbers mean. Let's put the macros into context. It is generally a good rule of thumb to have lower fats. I like to say file down the fats. Contain your carbs. Higher carbs is okay. We do need carbs for energy, but we just don't want to get ridiculous. Ridiculous being probably over 300 grams of carbs. And protein. Push up the protein just because on a daily basis most people are not getting a good amount. It's pretty common to see people only get 40 grams of protein in a single day. And if you're thinking, wow, 40, that's a lot. I could use $40 in my pocket right now. $40 and 40 grams of protein, two very different situations. 40 grams, definitely not enough. My review of the cereal itself, the taste is there. Eating it though, man, you really miss the texture of the actual cookie. I think I would much rather break up the cookie and put it in a bowl and pour milk over it. Definitely would not be the healthiest option though. As far as the macros are concerned, basically every other cereal out there is going to have around the same amount of numbers. So if you don't like this cereal, you like another brand, you have a preferred choice. Lucky Charms, that's another good one. Cinnamon Toast Crunch, those are some of my other favorites. Like and subscribe if that's you too. The only other cereal talk out there, you have the cereal with higher fiber, which is good. Just Guys, don't be deceived by those cereal brands that say high protein. You'll see cereal marketed with like 6, 7, 8 grams of protein per serving, and yes, that's better than 1, but that's not enough to make a dent into your your macros for the day. So for instance, for me, again, let's put this into context, that's helpful. I am 6 foot, I weigh 185 right now. I'm working with a macros range of 50 grams of fat, 200 grams of protein, 50 grams of fat, 200 grams of carbs, and 150 grams of protein. My goal is to slim down. I was bulking up at the tail end of last year. So with 200 grams of carbs to spare on a daily basis, eating cereal like this is going to be perfectly fine. But now you're aware of the number, apply it to yourself. If you're working with the same type of range, the same type of allowance, if you don't like cereal, you could substitute with a piece of fruit. Piece of fruit's going to be roughly around 30 grams of carbs right there. No fat, no protein. Oh, the other thing to take note real quick, if cereal is your main go-to for breakfast, just be aware of the satiety. I think I'm saying that word. Satiety. Basically, how long foods can carry you over. So it might be a really tasty choice at the beginning, but if you find yourself pretty darn hungry by the time 9:30, 10 o'clock rolls around, the big reason why is you haven't really had any protein in your system. Protein tides you over, carbs give you energy. That's a very, very simple take on that. One other macros nom. This comes from Chase. I asked him what was something tasty he ate over the weekend. He said homemade brownies. I'm not sure what brand that he has, but I have an unopened box of Betty Crocker gluten-free chocolate brownies. Gluten-free because my girlfriend has a gluten allergy. Not that she's jumping on the trend, the fad. Serving size of brownies from my box is 2 grams of fat, 24 grams of carbs, 1 gram of protein per serving size, which is 1/16 of the package. And let's be realistic here. When you're making homemade brownies, you're not going to be eating just one. Probably, if you're eating around 3 to 4, going to look at the higher end of 60, 75 grams of carbs. That would be my take. Just for some context, Chase is about 5'10", 5'11", weighing about 170, 75 right now. His macros are 40 grams of fat, 200 grams of protein, 250 grams of carbs. He is bulking right now. So again, the key to all this macros and calorie stuff, people want to rely on intuitive eating, and it's an okay concept, but it's hard to do that when you don't know what is in food. Don't think that me and Chase have everything stored in our minds. A lot of it is just through repetition. If you're eating cereal every single day, for instance, you're going to be quickly aware of what is the macros. Rajla, another fitness trainer out there, the sultan of sexification, he loves Cinnabons. He could tell you the macros for Cinnabons at the drop of a hat. So yeah, maybe the first step is to figure out what are the macros of something that you eat on a regular basis. If you try to do everything at once, you're going to get overwhelmed. It's going to suck. Don't make things harder on yourself. If you guys have any questions, comments, suggestions, do let us know. You can email us at aoabbu@gmail.com. Maybe we can get some on-air Q&A going on. You can also like our Facebook page, The Architects of Aesthetics. Find us on Twitter, aoabbu. All right, guys, that's about the time limit for this episode. You guys have a great week. No bells and whistles or theme music for now. The Architects of Aesthetics, building a better you.